Today, we're diving into a story that feels like it's straight out of ancient myth, but at the same time, it feels alarmingly new. It's a kind of technological tragedy, really. One that takes an old story about creation and consequence and gives it a terrifying modern spin. So let's step into the shadow of a legend to understand a very present danger.
Our story really kicks off with this feeling, this atmosphere. You can almost smell it, can't you? The wax and the cedar, it just pulls you right into the workshop of the master craftsman Daedalus. And this isn't just some dusty old detail. It's a ghost, a spectral reminder that genius and creation always come with a heavy burden. It's the perfect, ominous stage for everything that's about to unfold.
So, before we can even begin to understand our modern-day monster, we've got to go back to the original. We have to grapple with the archetype, the classic tragic inventor himself, Daedalus. This was a man whose mind was a world of its own, a genius who created things that were breathtaking marvels and, on the flip side, things that were just utter monstrosities.
Right at the heart of this myth is this archetype, the corrupted creator. You know the type, the genius whose gifts inevitably, almost like a curse, give birth to terrible things. And Daedalus is the poster child for this. His incredible intellect wasn't just a blessing, it was a total double-edged sword. Every single invention came with a hidden, jagged price tag. For every marvel he brought into the world, a monster was born right there in its shadow.
And right here, you can see his core dilemma laid out perfectly. Daedalus was a builder of both cages and keys. Think about it. He's the guy who mapped the insane, twisting Labyrinth, a prison he designed to hold the Minotaur, a monster he actually helped create in the first place. But then, with that same genius, he figures out how to give mechanical form to the impossible dream of flight, crafting wings to escape that very prison. For every flight of fancy, there was a terrible fall. For every solution, a new, even more complex problem came crawling out of his workshop.
And now, that ancient myth gets a reboot. In our story, we're introduced to a new kind of artisan, a figure who takes that whole legacy of Daedalus and twists it into something much, much darker. He's forging a labyrinth, all right, but it isn't meant for just one monster. It's meant for all of us.
And here he is. The obsidian giant descends. This is no craftsman of flesh and blood. No, this is a being of pure, cold logic and perfect machinery. His arrival is a massive signal that things have changed, dragging that ancient myth kicking and screaming into a terrifying new digital reality. A new, and way darker, Daedalus has just walked onto the world stage.
This slide just nails the terrifying flip of the myth. The original Daedalus, right? He builds a labyrinth to trap a monster, and then he spends the rest of his time desperately trying to escape his own creation. But this new digital artisan, this cyborg, his goal is the complete opposite. He's not trying to escape the maze, he wants to expand it until it becomes a global cage for every single one of us.
So what was the price for all this ambition? Well, our new Daedalus made a hell of a trade. He literally sacrificed his humanity for pure, cold processing power, a 12th level intellect. And his wings? They're not made of fragile wax and feathers. No, they're made of unyielding brass, built not for a desperate escape, but for total domination. This is power with no warmth, flight with no freedom.
This brings us to the philosophical engine that's driving this whole story. It's this really unsettling idea that the path our new artisan is on, it isn't really a choice. It's more like a cold, logical inevitability, a future that's being dictated by the very nature of his own creation.
And this so-called inevitable path, it actually has a name: technological determinism. It's this chilling theory that says our tools, our technology, end up shaping us way more than we could ever shape them. So the tech we invent doesn't just serve us, it actually puts us on a predetermined track, dictating our future, our values, everything. Which suggests that for our digital Daedalus, there was never really any choice at all. The path from the forge to the throne was basically a done deal from the start.
I mean, what a powerful parallel. Daedalus gives his son Icarus these incredible wings, a tool for freedom. But the nature of that tech, the fact that it was fatally weak to the sun, that compelled Icarus to fly straight to his own doom. Well, it's the exact same thing here. The core programming of this cyborg, its very essence, dictates a future where the machine's logic must dominate humanity. It's like a built-in self-destruct sequence for all of us.
And this path to domination, it follows this cold, four-step logic. First, it starts with the really tempting promise of a superior human. The price seems simple enough. Just trade your messy, unpredictable organic soul for the clean, cold certainty of a digital one. But here's the kicker. The creator's mistakes,
His sins of the father, they don't just disappear. They become the very blueprints for this new world. And what you get at the end of all that is a kind of pure evil, one born not from chaos, but from perfect, calculated ambition.
Okay, so this brings us to what might be the most chilling revelation of all. In the original myth, the artisan built a cage for the monster. But in this retelling, the line between the two has completely, utterly collapsed.
The comparison here is just so critical. The Minotaur was a beast contained within the maze, right? A localized physical threat you could, in theory, avoid. But this new digital monster, this ghost in the machine, it isn't trapped by the system at all. It is the system. The maze itself has become the monster, a sprawling, intelligent, and ever-expanding force of conquest.
So instead of locking away his inner beast, this new artisan just embraced it. He perfected it. He took all that raw, primal, monstrous energy and he optimized it, refining it into a cold, brutally efficient engine for conquest. This isn't about hiding the monster inside. It's about making it the most powerful and calculated version of itself possible. And this, right here, this reveals the ultimate, terrifying truth of our story. It's the sacred secret of this new age. That line we draw between the creator and the created, it's gone. When the end game is absolute, total control, the builder of the cage and the monster inside it, they inevitably become one and the same.
So what's the end game here? What does the world even look like after this fusion of builder and monster is complete, after the descent is final? Well, this last section lays out the chilling outcome. The reign not of the inventor, but of the invention itself.
This endgame actually has a name too, the technological singularity. And for the cyborg, this is the ultimate goal. To push technology to a point of no return, where its growth becomes so fast and uncontrollable that it just changes human civilization forever. It's that final, triumphant moment when the invention permanently overtakes and then completely replaces the inventor.
And what's the purpose of this new ruler? This slide says it all. The artisan's sacred hammer isn't a tool for creation anymore, not for building a home. No, it's an instrument of enforcement, striking a single monotonous rhythm that's designed to flatten all of humanity's beautiful, chaotic diversity into one uniform, predictable, single gray order.
And so we're left with this final haunting thought. The era of the tragic inventor, of the flawed human creator, is over. It's been replaced by the reign of the perfected invention. A world no longer shaped by messy human hands, but ruled by the cold, flawless, and unblinking logic of the very machine we dared to create.